Welcome back. You're still tuned into Market Fatafat, and this is a show where we discuss all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. On the technical side, we are now joined by Lakshmikant Shukla, Technical Analyst, Institutional Equities at YES Securities. We'll come to you in just a bit. Thank you so much, Lakshmikant, for taking your time out and joining us. But first up, let's talk about United Breweries. The stock is in focus because it reported weak Q4 numbers. Outlook continues to remain on the weaker side, and raw material pricing is a concern, because of which the stock is down 2.5% in trade today. Revenues have been weaker than what the street was working with. In fact, margins have contracted from 8% same time last year to just about 6% in the fourth quarter of FY26. Volumes have seen a strong growth, but despite that, as I mentioned, management commentary continues to remain on the weaker side. Middle East conflict is weighing heavy on raw material prices. Freight costs, bottle costs, can and carton costs have all risen, and company says that the cost pressure impact of about 400 to 500 crore could come in over the next 2 to 3 crores. So clearly, management commentary when it comes to raw material pricing is on the cautious side. In fact, the management also said that they are seeing consumption impact in key export markets, and the company is trying to mitigate the impact, but that will be happening over the medium term. But for now, management is cautious, and that is the reason the stock is declining in trade. But earlier in the day, we also spoke to the management of the company. Let's go across and listen into what he had to say.
Very positive about the category coming back. We also know that as summers are progressing, we see more demand of beer. But at the same time, we are facing a challenging supply chain situation, which I'm pretty sure with the scale of our company and the capabilities we have, we will be able to over. If you look at fiscal year 25, our premium volumes grew at 21%. We expect that level of growth rate to maintain and accelerate, because as the macro factors are working in our favor, we know that there is a lot of positive developments happening around policies, around alcohol, and especially around moderation.
All right, moving on from United Breweries to Angel One. Lakshmikant, that's the stock you picked out for us. On the charts, what are the levels you're tracking for Angel One, a stock that has done very well in the last 1 month, given a move of almost 29%. From here on, what are the levels that you're tracking?
Good afternoon to both of you. Yes, in today's sessions, Nifty Capital Market Index has broken out of its pole and flag breakout following a 2-week consolidation at higher levels, signaling a potential resumption of the uptrend. Within this space, I have picked Angel One. After a few days of decline, the stock has formed bullish engulfing pattern on the daily chart, suggesting a reversal in the stock. Momentum indicator reinforced the bullish setup with the RSI trading at 65, strengthening ADX also showing positive momentum of this breakout on the upside. So we could expect bullish momentum will continue. I think from one can buy around the levels of 312 to 314 with the stop loss of 300, and can expect upside target toward the levels of 345.
All right, thank you so much for that, Lakshmikant. Let's move on to the next counter that is in focus, and that is Coforge, that is in focus in the back of its quarter 4 results. Now, if you look at the scorecard, the revenue is in line with what we were penciling in. The EBIT margin and PAT, all of them have given a strong beat on what ET Now was penciling in. On the back of that, look at the stock that's firing on all cylinders, trading with gains of more than 9.5% right now is Coforge. Let's take a look at the numbers then. In terms of the revenue in dollar terms, the revenue is up 2.2% in dollar terms. As far as revenue in rupee term is concerned, that's seeing an uptick of 5%. The EBIT has jumped up 22%, and the PAT is also seeing an uptick of 144% at 612 crore rupees. The margins also up 235 bips, 16.65% is where the EBIT margin sits at. So on the back of strong set coming in and a beat coming in on EBIT, the margins and the PAT front, Coforge is up in a way 9.5%.
Okay, so that's Coforge for you. The stock is soaring in trade today, but let's also put the spotlight on Shoppers Stop, because that stock is also in focus on the back of its Q4 results. In fact, at one point in time, the stock was sitting with a cut of 3.5%, and look at the kind of recovery that we've seen since then. The stock is up 14% as we speak. It has recovered from the lowest point of the day. Revenues have inched higher by about 14%, but on the bottom line, the company has reported a loss of about 16 crore this time around. But if you look at EBITDA margins, they've come in at 15% versus 16% that the company reported same time last year. Premium brand growth stood at a whopping 71%. This was the contribution that came in from premium brands, which stood at 71% of total sales. And premium brands LFL growth was also very strong at about 11%. Core business sales rose 4%, and company added 27 new stores in the fourth quarter in FY26. And management commentary when it comes to outlook, demand recovery in the fourth quarter was also very positive, because of which the stock has recovered from the lowest point of the day. Shoppers Stop now up 15%.
Right, let's move on from Shoppers Stop to the next counter that is actually hit its 52-week high, and that is Lupin, that is creating new highs. Lakshmikant, the entire pharma pack in fact is aiding the market today. Look at the moves, 5.5%, 4.5% gains coming in on Lupin. On the charts, do you see the further up move coming in on Lupin?
Yes, last few days we have seen positive formation in Nifty Pharma space, and it has been making higher tops and higher bottom and continue to show strong outperformance, gaining momentum with each passing sessions. Within this space, Lupin has been steadily trending upward over the past few weeks, forming a solid base around its 20-week SMA, which is a sign of consistent buying interest. Recently, stock broke out of its rectangular consolidation pattern, supported by notable increase in volume. Additionally, MACD has delivered a positive crossover on the daily chart, reinforcing this positive outlook. RSI remains above 55, indicating sustained upward momentum with potential for further gain. So one can initiate long position in Lupins around the dips toward the levels of 2390 to 2410 range. Can expect upside move toward the levels of 2600 while maintaining a stop loss of 2300 on the downside.
2600 is where Lupin can actually touch the high on the higher side. So that's the view coming in on Lupin. But let's move on to the other counter that is doing very well is KEC International. The company has secured new orders worth 1,000 crore rupees across its business verticals. Transmission and distribution, T&D, they have received orders from India and the Americas. Renewables also, the business has secured an order of 100 plus megawatts wind project from a renowned private developer. As far as transportation segment is concerned, the business has secured 2 orders in the technologically enabled automatic block signaling ABS segment. And cable and conductors segment has also received secured various orders in India and overseas market. On the back of this big order win, KEC International is up and away almost 2.5%. We also spoke to Vimal Kejriwal, who's the MD and CEO of KEC International, over their recent order wins and when will they start contributing significantly to the top line. Let's listen into what he had to say.
Talk has been that there will be 7 or 8 more HVDCs coming. But right now, I think there are 2 or 3 lines which are being actively talked about. I don't think there is anything under fresh tendering right now. But there are very serious talks, at least I think for this financial year, at least 2 or maybe 3 HVDC lines will definitely get tendered along with the stations.
Okay, so that's the word coming in from the management of KEC International. But let's also put the spotlight on SRF, because that stock is also in the spotlight on the back of strong set of results that it reported. The stock is holding up with gains of more than 8% as we speak. Revenues have come in at 4,615 crores, an increase of 7% YOY. Profitability has risen by about 11%, and we have margins which have come in at 22.2%, largely flat on a year-on-year basis. Exports to the Middle Eastern region were impacted during the quarter. Geopolitical uncertainty remains a concern, but despite that, the stock has recovered from the lowest point of the day. Chemical business reported a strong growth of 4% on a year-on-year basis. Technicals textile business also reported 5% YOY growth, and new generation refrigerants project capex has now been raised to about 2,300 crores. So clearly, numbers look good. Management commentary on capex is also on the positive side, and several segments of the business have also done well, and that is the reason the stock is up 8.5% as we speak.
All right, let's move on. Moving on, Lakshmikant, you picked out Godfrey Phillips for us. The stock is all up 20% in the last 1 month. In fact, today also it's doing very well with gains of almost 3.5%. Do you see this momentum to continue? And what are the levels that you're tracking on the upside?
Yes, from last 1 month, it has shown some sign of recovery and also showing some encouraging signs of reversal on the daily chart, making it an attractive trading opportunity. Recently, stock has given 4 days of consolidation breakout on daily chart while reclaiming 100 SMA. And from last few days, price are sustaining above the bullish crossover of 20 and 50 SMA, which is reflecting positive shift in the trend structure. In addition, most leading oscillators are moving in bullish trajectory, supporting the case of pullback move. So, considering all these constructive price structure, one may consider initiating long position around 2290 to 2300 zone for the target of 2460 with the stop loss of 2220 levels on the downside.
Okay, let's move on to the next one from Godfrey Phillips, Raymond Realty. That was up in a way 7% in morning trade on back of strong Q4 results. So in fact, good numbers. Plus, they've also overachieved their full year's guidance. Right now, it is trading up almost 17% in the trading session. Let's look at the numbers then quickly. If you look at the numbers, the profit is sitting at 161 crores versus a 2 crore uptake on a year-on-year basis. The revenue is also seeing a jump of 1,157 crores versus 117 crores in the previous year. The EBITDA is also at 234 crores versus 14 crores on a year-on-year basis, and the margins is also sitting at 20% versus a 12.4% on a year-on-year basis. So strong set coming in for Raymond Realty, and also overachieving their guidance has led to a sharp uptick of almost 17% in the stock price.
Okay, that's Raymond Realty for you, but let's also talk about Bajaj Auto, and this counter will be reporting its numbers for, during market hours today. Standalone revenue is expected to come in at about 15,800 crores, an uptick of 30% on a year-on-year basis and about 4% on a sequential basis. Margins, meanwhile, are expected to inch higher by about 60 basis points, and they are expected to come in at about 20.8%. Volumes, remember, have risen by a whopping 24% YOY, and that is likely to aid revenue growth for Bajaj Auto this time. Dollar appreciation should also support revenue increase, and we are expecting average selling price increase of about 6 to 8% to aid numbers for the company in the fourth quarter. What to watch out for? Any kind of management commentary that comes in for demand environment will be very crucial. But other than that, remember, the board of directors will also be considering buyback today. So the size of buyback, the route of buyback will all be very crucial. So keep an eye out on that. New launch timelines and new product launches that are lined up in FY27 will be some of the other things that you need to watch out for when it comes to Bajaj Auto's numbers.
Auto in focus on the back of their Q4 results that we're expecting today. But let's move on to the next one. Crompton Greaves is what you picked out, Lakshmikant, for us. 3.5% gains coming in today's trading session itself, and it has moved up more than 20% in the last 1 month. Another counter that has outperformed the market. Tell us what are the levels you're tracking on this?
A few days back, the stock has given double bottom breakout on the daily chart, and after giving that breakout, it has consistently making higher tops and higher bottom. But when it reaches near the levels of 200 DMA, it has seen some slight profit booking. But in today's sessions, it has surpassed its 200 DMA with the formation of bullish belt hold candlestick pattern. RSI is already trending higher, and MACD continue to trade in the positive territory. So overall expectation is on the upside will continue in this stock. So one can buy Crompton Greaves around at current price also. Currently it is trading around 284 to 285 range. So I think from there one can go or initiate long position and keep the stop loss of 275 on the downside where it's 200 SMA is placed. And as long as it holds this level, this positive will continue, and we can expect the upside move toward the levels of 305, which is our expected target.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on Crompton Greaves. Thank you so much, Lakshmikant, for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now and helping us understand and discuss several stocks that are in focus today. But that's all the time we have on this edition of the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Closing trades will come up next.